Okie dokie. Monday morning. Here we go. Excuse my breath. Favorite day of the week. Got my wife next to me, and we are going to read chapter 12, which I think is the last chapter of Science of Getting Rich. No. Chapter 13 is the last chapter. Chapter 17 is the last chapter. And so we have a morning that's open right now. Supposed to do a shoot today. The weather actually turned out to be pretty awesome to do the shoot. But I arranged for it to happen at a different time. Cool. Let's start with efficient action. You must use your thoughts as directed in previous chapters and begin to do all that you can do where you are, and you must do all that you can do where you are. I just read that twice. Look at me. What a beautiful day already. You must use your thoughts as directed in previous chapters and begin to do what you can do where you are, and you must do all that you can do where you are. Oh, so I did read it right. So he's just reiterating that you should do everything you can do to do what you can do. You can advance only there's a spelling error in this book. You can advance only by being larger than yourself. You can advance only by being larger than your present place. And no man is larger than his present place who leaves undone any of the work pertaining to that place. Side note, that restlessness that we talk about, that I feel, that we all feel about, and you might feel about becoming successful and achieving your dreams, it's there for a reason. More and more things that I watch talk about that specific restlessness, and I feel it today, very much so. And so I won't stop until it's done. The world is advanced only by those who are more than fill their present places. I'm having some trouble reading today. If no man quite filled his present place, you can see that they must be going backward in everything. Those who do not quite fill their present places are dead weight upon society, government, commerce, and industry. They must be carried along by others at a great expense. I know people like that. Those who do not quite fill their present places are dead weight upon society, government, commerce, and industry. They must be carried along by others at a great expense. Yep, I know exactly who that is. Don't say the name. The progress of the world is retarded only by those who do not fill the places they are holding. They belong to a former age and a lower stage on plane of life, and their tendency is towards degeneration. No society could advance if every man was smaller than his place. Social evolution is guided by law of physical and mental evolution in the animal world. In the animal world, evolution is caused by excess of life. When an organism has more life than can be expressed in the functions of its own plane, it develops the organs of a higher plane, and a new species is originated. There never would have been new species had there not been organisms which more than fill their places. The law is exactly the same for you. Your getting rich depends on your applying this principle to your own affairs. Every day is either a successful day or a day of failure, and it is the successful days which you get what you want. If every day is a failure, you can never get rich, while if every day is success, you cannot fail to get rich. So you need to understand what is a day of failure and what is a day of success. I think any day of success is better than a day of failure, of course. A day of failure is doing absolutely fuck all. A day of success would be at its minimum doing one thing or all you can do. And that's what he's talking about, efficient action. You can think it, you can dream it, you can imagine it, but if you don't do it, it's not going to come to you, or you go to it. If there's something that may be done today and you do not do it, you have failed in so far as the thing is concerned, and the consequences may be more disastrous than you imagine. You cannot foresee the result of even the most trivial act. You do not know the workings of all forces that have been set moving in your behalf. Much may be depending on your doing some simple act. It may be the very thing which has opened the door of opportunity to very great possibilities, like reaching out to people and clients, doing it right now instead of later. When you're seeing somebody post a certain story and go, oh, that's a funny story, I'm going to respond to this saying this, or maybe they're not going to respond and then I don't do it. That's when you miss out on opportunities. Sweet. You can never know all the combinations which supreme intelligence is making for you in the world of things and of human affairs. Your neglect or failure to do some small thing may cause a long delay in getting what you want. Do every day all that can be done that day. There is, however, a limitation of or qualification of the above that you must take into account. You are not to overwork nor to rush blindly into your business in the effort to do the greatest possible number of things in the shortest possible time. You are not to try to do tomorrow's work today, nor to do a week's work in a day. It is really not the number of things. There's another spelling error there. It is really not the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Every act in itself either is a success or failure. Every act in itself either effective or inefficient. Every inefficient act is a failure, and if you spend your life in doing inefficient acts, your whole life will be a failure. The more things you do, the worse for you, if your acts are inefficient ones. On the other hand, every efficient act is a success in itself, and if every act in your life or of your life is an efficient one, your whole life must be a success. The cause of failure is doing too many things in an inefficient manner, and not doing enough things in an efficient manner. I love that. You will see that it is a self-evident proposition that if you do not do any inefficient acts, and if you do a sufficient number of efficient acts, you will become rich. If now it is possible for you to make each act an efficient one, you see again that getting of riches is reduced to an exact science, like mathematics. The matter turns then on the question whether you can make each separate act a success in itself. And this you can certainly do. You can make each act a success because all power is working with you and all power cannot fail. Power is at your service, and to make each act efficient, you have only to put power into it. Every action is either strong or weak, and when every one is strong, you are acting in a certain way which will make you rich. I know for a fact that there are people watching this, including myself. We know when we're making weak actions. We just know it. And so when you know that you're making a weak action, you have that moment of like, fuck, I'm actually not doing my best, yeah? Change it. Do your best. Cool. Every act can be made strong and efficient by holding your vision while you're doing it and putting the whole power of your faith and purpose into it. It is at this point that people fail who separate mental power from personal action. They use the power of mind in one place and at one time, and they act in another pace and at another time. So their acts are not successful in themselves. Too many of them are inefficient. But if all power goes into every act, no matter how commonplace, every act will be a success in itself. And it is in the nature of things, every success opens up the way to other successes. Your progress towards what you want and the progress of what you want toward you will become increasingly rapid. We spoke about this last night, talking about how in the previous chapter, speaking about how when you dream it, think it, and imagine it, it becomes a thing in the formless substance. So yeah, it exists. And everything around it starts being pushed towards you on this side. And if you don't do any of the work and follow the purpose of achieving your vision and things like that, this will pass you when it gets to you eventually. And so you'd find in some games, the harder you pedal or the faster you click the button or you do something specific, the thing that you're trying to get to either comes to you faster or you go to it faster, or together you come to each other faster. But the point again is that if you want the things that you desire to come to life and to you faster, it's doing the work all of the time and doing the efficient work all of the time at the best of your ability all of the time, and constantly thinking about the thing that you want. And so that's where manifestation, I would argue, takes place. Is you are thinking about the thing, it becomes part of the world, and it is created, and it starts coming towards you through other people. Other people might have it before you. There might be certain things and certain companies that go out and dig up the gold that you want to mine or whatever. And so slowly but surely it comes together, and you can do it faster by doing the most efficient things all the time. Remember that successful action is cumulative in its results. Since the desire for more life is inherent in all things, when a man begins to move towards larger life, more things attach themselves to him, and the influence of his desire is multiplied. Are you okay? Did you do the thing now? Morning sickness. You okay? As you're growing. Okay. What's it, third trimester? Still second. Anyway, my son's growing and he's making my wife sick. So I think that's a good sign because her body's changing and he's growing. So we're grateful for that. You just want to make sure she's okay. Okay? Do every day all that you can do on that day and do each act in an efficient manner. I'm not reading that again from a different page. They are repeating themselves. In saying that, you must hold your vision while you are doing each act, however trivial or commonplace. I do not mean to say that it is necessary at all times to see the vision distinctly to its smallest details. It should be the work of your leisure hours to use your imagination on the details of your vision and to contemplate them until they are firmly fixed upon memory. If you wish speedy results, spend practically all your spare time in this practice. By continuous contemplation, you will get the picture of what you want, even to the smallest details, so firmly fixed upon your mind and so completely transferred in the mind of a formless substance that in your working hours you need only to mentally refer to the picture to stimulate your faith and purpose and cause your best effort to be put forth. So think about it like this. If you have, and a lot of people that I know and a lot of people that I've trained and a lot of people I've worked with, they aren't clear on where they want to go, right? And if you're not clear on where you want to go, and you can have a small goal. Let's not make it a small goal. Let's call it a beginner goal. It is, I want to make 10K a month, right? You've never made it before. You don't know how easy it is to get there or how difficult it is to get there. You don't know what it takes to get there. So that's what you set your goal at. If we said, okay, cool, you want 10K, I'll use an example of a person I know. They set a goal to earn 10K a month this year, right? Now, it could be in Jan, in March, August, November. That person knows who I'm speaking about if they watch this video. They did $8,000 in a month last month. And so they very quickly understood that maybe they need to ask for more because they believe now more is possible. And so what this book is teaching us is to be like, cool, be specific and be clear about the biggest thing that you want, your big, hairy, audacious goal. The big goal at the end of the tunnel that you want to achieve. Get extremely clear on the details in your spare time on what this life looks like. And when you are working and you feel less motivated or the drive's not there or you're not necessarily feeling too grateful for where you are in your present space, you remember the place you want to be at and the life that you want to live, and it reminds you of why you're working the way that you are or why you're doing the things that you're doing. And so you might put a low effort in at the beginning of the day and all of a sudden you think about the vision and what you want to achieve, and it's so vivid in your mind that you're like, oh shit, I better get to work because I want to be ready when that thing comes to me, because the opportunity is coming. You thought about it, it's right there. And so and this is how I ended up working with Iman. This is how I've ended up having a relationship with a guy, business relationship by the way, where I've been speaking about getting into local traditional businesses and fast-moving consumer goods and all those kinds of things, and lo and behold, the opportunities presented itself. And so I need to make sure that I'm ready for when we actually go ahead and do the thing. So I know in my mind all the things that I have to prepare to make sure that this person that I want to go into business with looks at me and goes, fuck yes, I want to do business with Storm. And so I need to do those things to the best of my ability. But if I scrape the bottom of the barrel or just the sides, or just kind of dip my toe in it and kind of go, yeah, I have an idea of what's going on and I've not done any of the work or I haven't prepared or done any of those kinds of things, he's going to look at me and say, nope, not going to happen. And so Mr. Brink was my business teacher in grade 8 and 9, I think, and he used to tell us that if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Cool. Picture stimulate your faith and purpose that cause your best effort to be put forth. Contemplate your picture in your leisure hours until your consciousness is so full of it that you can grasp it instantly. So I've written my vision down, and I've managed to, I know like I can tell you the story of my vision. I wake up early, and I'm not being extremely specific, but I wake up early. I walk outside to have a cup of coffee, but I've opened the door and my 2 dachshunds have just bulleted onto the grass. It's dewy. There's like this mist over the mountains, and in the distance to my right I can see the silhouette of a venue that Monique put together. On the back of my head or my ears I can hear that there's some rustling in the kitchen. The chef's busy preparing breakfast. Right? I walk back inside after my coffee. I first go to the gym, in my own gym on my property. I then come back into the kitchen. I hold Monique. She's with the kids, right? In my vision there were 2, but now there is 1. And so, so we know. Maybe there might be 2, but we see that so far there's only 1. And so we're on the farm. I can see our guest houses and all those kinds of things. I moved from the gym into the house. I hug her. She says, I tell her that I love her, and she says, "Hey, aren't you glad I pushed you?" And I said, "Yes, of course." And so the day goes on. Move upstairs, get dressed, go outside, take my dad in the 230 SL with my mom to lunch at the restaurant that we own. That's not too far from the property. And now, what I want you to understand about these things that I'm saying in my vision, I'm not saying that I explicitly own the restaurant. I'm not saying that I explicitly own the farm. If I may be a little bit more specific, based on my present moment, I might be able to be more efficient in the actions I take. So just that first part, we've identified that I'm at the farm. We've identified that we have the 230 SL. We've identified that there's a restaurant and a venue and that there's accommodation and all these kinds of things. If I'm specific in my vision to say, because I need to probably have like 47 million rand or something like that to buy the farm, like they would want, or to buy a place and build on. But there are already farms and venues and things like that out there. So if I just say, you know what, I need to find a creative way, or that I did find a creative way, or a business partner that funded the dream, and this was a business partner that was involved in more businesses than just one. And I met them through increasing my network over time in the last 365 days. And they said, fuck me, yes, I know exactly who you need to do this. Maybe you guys are going to house sit the farm, but there's a venue and there's a this and there's a that. Nobody else is going to run it. Nobody else is going to do anything with it. You know what? I'm happy to drop a few bar on this, knowing that you guys are going to run it and pay the investment back, because that's how it works. You don't just invest and get money for free. And so if I'm a little bit more specific on those things, then I know, based on that idea, I need to go and look for that person, and I need to go and find the venue. And so by how do I find the person? Well, I interact with my network. I constantly ask people to find out who's looking for projects and new things to invest in. And when it comes to the farm, I need to find farms that are explicitly have a venue on already, and that have accommodation, and that's close to a restaurant, and that's fitting to the vision. So that means I need to actually send out emails, but not isolate myself and just do outreach. I need to go to farms and find ones that are for sale and see if I can negotiate with them not to sell right now, or only sell in 10 years, or can we sign a long-term lease, or what is the process. But I'm not going to know unless I give efficient action every single day toward the thing that I want, to the best of my ability. I don't need to know everything that needs to happen to make this a reality. But what I need to do is the action that's going to help me identify the next clear step to take. And I can only do that by taking the first step. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Was that a lot? Monique? Was that a lot? Was it because she's not listening to me? Okay, cool. That's fine. But yes, so maybe I need to be more clear in my vision, actually, in terms of what I want to achieve. And that's just the first part. Then it's going to lunch, the 230 SL. The Mercedes 230 SL is relatively expensive. It's not the cheapest car out there. It's, I would argue, a bit of a collectible as well, especially the one that I want in black and maroon on the inside. I have 2 other cars that are there. We've had lunch, I come back, I go to my office, I know exactly what it smells like, I know exactly what it looks like, I know that there's a bottle of water or glass of water on my desk, and there's a notebook, one of those flip pad notebooks, and there's 3 things on my to-do list for the day. I have 1 or 2 calls with clients, and the guys are doing incredibly well. One of the calls with the client is somebody who just crossed 80K a month. I singularly put somebody down who crossed 80K a month that I worked with. That meeting I had 2-3 weeks ago with somebody. It's not even, and I was thinking I was only going to have that then. No. Bring all of those success stories forward, right? And so bringing those success stories forward mean hard work with the clients I have right now, hard work with the clients that I'm bringing on. And so from there, we get dressed, we're going downstairs, we invited a couple of guys over, guys that have seen me from zero to hero, not necessarily hero, but you know what I mean, getting better. And then all the boys flying in with their wives and girlfriends and all that kind of stuff, and us hosting them for a weekend. They're all staying at the accommodation on the farm, etc., etc. I then end the evening by smoking a cigar by myself and having a glass of whiskey. Oliver is in bed. Monique's come to say goodnight, and I'm sitting there going, holy shit, how have we done this? This is amazing. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we go again. And included in all of that is a foundation to help people called the Fork in the Road, which literally gives them a choice. You have a choice to do everything you want. So I'm rambling on about this now, but I know that that's in my mind. And so when we are in an environment like this, it's like, holy shit, we're closer than what we think. And we are literally in the area where the farms are going to be for sale for us to go and speak to, because getting a place in this area that has a venue that we could stay on potentially for at least the first year while getting the venue up and running would be a massive blessing. That would be amazing. Can that be done? Fuck yes. Right? How do we know that it's going to be done? By going out to all the farms around here and finding the little venues and being like, hey, what are you guys doing next year? What's your plan for 2026? What's the plan for 2027? And so on and so forth. We know that that's the case, and so we need to put time aside while we are here, outside of working every single day, to go and visit those places and have conversations with estate agents. That's the work that this book is talking about, to make sure that when that opportunity arises, that we're ready to go. We had an opportunity a couple of years ago to buy a farm that slipped through our fingers. I'd argue that we were ready for it, that something just happened that made it that it didn't work out, but we didn't follow up. Life changed for many people, and so maybe we weren't ready for it. And so next time we go and find a great deal, or we get into a good position to buy something or invest or work with somebody to do something amazing, we need to make sure that we're ready. So we need to have the information, we need to know what our plan is, we need to know what we're going to sell, we need to know all of those kinds of things. And no, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we just have to have an idea and do the homework, so that when that opportunity does present itself, because then it's going to go fucking quickly. Like, I can tell you right now, if you've ever imagined something and then done the work to do it, and the opportunity comes and you're ready for it, life moves like this. Shit just happens. And then there's no time to just sit and go. Like, you could sit, like when we moved into our first house together, I was constantly waiting for that moment of like, oh yeah, well done. Like, somebody was going to come and congratulate me for, getting us a place to stay together for the first time. No, dude, that's normal. Like, the work's only just begun. You've not just got your own place. Now you need to back and go and work to do the next thing, right? But anyway, I'll read it again. Contemplate your picture in your leisure hours until your consciousness is so full of it that you can grasp it instantly. You will become so enthused with this bright promises that the mere thought of it will call forth the strongest energies of your whole being. That's what I spoke about in yesterday's chapter. Your life just moves differently. Let us again repeat our syllabus, and by the slightly changing the closing statements, bring it to the point we have now reached. There is the thinking stuff from which all things are made, that place that exists, and which, in original state, permeates and penetrates and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in the substance, your idea, and thinking produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Right? It now exists. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Boom. It starts moving towards you. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind, meaning your success doesn't mean somebody else's downfall. There's a saying in Afrikaans, een man se dood is ander man se brood. I used to believe in it, I don't believe in it anymore. I do believe there's more than enough to go around for everybody, and it's just about you taking what is rightfully yours, not by stealing it or grabbing it or whatever, by not competing either, but creating it in a creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants and do with faith and purpose all that can be done each day, doing each separate thing in an efficient manner. I'm going to read it again in one, so without interruption. There's a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance provides or produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing this thought or his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants and do, and with faith and purpose, all that can be done each day, doing each separate thing in an efficient manner. Go crush it. Next chapter.